to Kansas State for a moment. Kansas State, Texas. I mean, they hung 116 on Texas in Austin.
Is that a lot?
It's not a little. Up 58-40 in the first half. How were you surprised by this at all from Kansas State?
Hold on, I want to ask: Rob? Are they in the in your top 25? Are they in your top 25 yet? Okay,
you
are
gotta
they
rank them.
Yeah, no, I will. To be clear, I've been very high on Kansas State all year long because I knew how good Keontae Johnson was going to be, and because I spoke with Jerome Tang before the season, and he was like, "This Naquan Tomlin kid is a game changer," and you know what? That dude is a game changer. So I'm completely biased. I'm the wrong person to ask on this, but yes, if they're not in the top 25, we riot on Monday morning. McCall,
they have to.
We'll be rioting.
I don't wherever you want to go.
Wherever we want to go. We're going to Manhattan, Kansas.
So my question is, what's the reason they're not in the top 25 now? Their schedule?
Yeah, they didn't really beat anybody.
Okay, so take Missouri, take LSU, and take Kansas State. You've got 3 new coaches. You've got 3 guys that are taking over complete different situations. They're all trying to piece their teams together. Nobody's walking into a situation where there's like a roster that's set. They're trying to give their team confidence. And that's why they built their non-conference schedule the way they did. They gave their team confidence. Take a team like St. John's. St. John's did the same thing. But yet St. John's has what? A lot of guys back. So now when they're faced with that adversity, now come Big East play, they have had no adversity in the non-league, but they have a lot of the same guys that are back. So it's almost like, hey, St. John's, let's schedule some more difficult games in November and December to prepare us for January, February, when we're lining up to play the Big East. Oh, St. John's, oh, by the way, they have to line up and play Providence at Providence the next game. But you look at what Kansas State, what Missouri, and what LSU have done, and I'm not saying any of them are guaranteed NCAA tournament teams, but they've built schedules to give their teams confidence come conference play with new coaches, with new players, with new systems, and that's exactly what you see happening. And
you know what else would help St. John's? The 2 best players on Kansas State, Marquise Noel and Naquan Tomlin, are both from Harlem, and they ended up in Manhattan, Kansas. So
just a different Manhattan, a little different.
The other Manhattan, the little apple.
Yeah. You see, St. John's is faced with some adversity, and now you got players that are not playing that are in the rotation, and it's like, what's going on there, right? And you look at these 3 teams with those 3 new coaches that are all young, hungry, energetic, and their teams are playing at a high level, and their teams are playing confidently right now. And I think the way that they scheduled in the non-league, they get a lot of grief for. But I think it's played into their hands. I think they've done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
For this Texas team who had won a ton in a row, just lost. I mean, how crushing is it to just have that type of performance on your home floor and to have a team come in who isn't ranked despite the fact that they should be, but nonetheless, as well as you've been playing, to have them come in and hang 116 on you?
I've never seen anything like that offensive performance.
In a conference game, Rob, not to cut you off, when's the last time you saw a team on the road score 116 points?
I don't know. I've never seen that before. And here's the wild thing to me is you will see teams go nuts for a half and then come back in the second half. And it's just okay, they came back down to earth. Kansas State didn't come back down. They scored 58 in both halves, right? They didn't come back down to earth. Texas just was not playing defense. I don't know, McCall, you'll be able to answer this better than me. Is that a coaching thing? Is that a lack of leadership thing? Is that what? I don't know. I don't even know. Is that just a weird, was this just a night where Kansas State got it going and there was nothing that Texas was going to be able to do?
Well, I think it's a little bit of both, right? I mean, if you go into the half and the other team has 58 points on the board, it's like, hey guys, we got to do something different.
Mm-hmm.
We're not coming out and playing man to man. We're not coming out and pressing. We're not coming out and playing zone. We have to do something different. We're going to trap ball screens. We got to do this. We got to we're not going to just continue to give up this amount of points. And think about this. They scored 116 points and they made 13 threes. That amount of points, you'd think they made 23, something astronomical. Now I know they shot 56% from the 3-point line, but you think as a coaching staff, hey man, we got to switch this up. We got to do something different here. This ain't working. So
you hear about You hear
play
about 50,
zone. Let's
40,
press.
90
Let's do this. Like, I mean, this. You look at the score. It's like the the Pelicans were playing like at the Nuggets tonight. Like,
Yeah.
and they just got
Like
hot.
you hear about 50, 40, 90 shooters, right? Kansas State tonight was 60% from the floor, 54% from three, and 94% from the free throw. Like they were missing.
Well, how
What
about?
are you
I mean,
doing?
Texas scores 103 at home and lost.
And they got smacked. It was never a game.
It's
It was
unbelievable.
never a game.
Well, how about the fact that you've got Marquise Noel, who drops 36 points. He's 6 for 10 from three, a perfect 12 for 12 from the line, which I know, Coach McCall, you like to hear those types of numbers. And look who's with us now. Marquise himself joining us from what looks like a tunnel down low in Austin, Texas. Hey, Marquise, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm trying to get this thing. Okay. All right. How you doing?
Hey, good. We got Rob Doster, Matt McCall, Megan McEwen with you. You're live with us on Field of 68 After Dark. Y'all hung 116 on Texas at Texas. What was the key to getting the scoring going early in the first half?
I want to start off by saying I want to give all the honor and glory to God Himself for allowing this to be possible, because without Him, none of this would be possible. But to answer your question, man, you got to give credit to Texas. I feel like they bring the best out of every team that they play, and they brought the best out of us today. We had major contributions from guys, coming off the bench, and guys like Keontae Johnson, Cam Carter, Desi Seals. Them guys showed up and in big time moments, and that's why we were able to win. So.
Marquise, you mentioned Keontae Johnson. He had 28 points, 9 boards, 5 assists tonight. We know kind of what he went through last year, and we've seen the way that he's played this year. He's playing at an All-American Big 12 Player of the Year kind of level. Were you expecting this out of him? Because I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is going to be a good story. It's going to be nice to see him playing again. It's like he's back and he's better than he was before he had his health situation. So did you guys see this coming in the summer?
Yes, we definitely seen this. Keontae is a very consistent guy. You know what you're getting out of him each and every day. He's probably the one of the best players in the Big 12, if not the best. And to miss 2 years and still come out like this, it just shows how hard he worked to get back to this point. So yeah, we definitely expected it from Keontae. He's very consistent and he works tirelessly on his game. So.
Marquise, let me ask you guys this. Like, I know this is a big stat in the game for you. Team shot 33 free throws. You guys go 31 for 33 from the foul line. You yourself, you go 12 for 12. Your team shot 94% from the free throw line. What was the key in terms of how you guys got so many free throw attempts?
We knew what our plan of attack was today. We knew that we wanted to be aggressive and get downhill, and with our aggression allowed us to get fouls and enjoy easy fouls. So we played really hard, we played tough, and when you play like that, stuff like that happens. So.
Hey, question for you now. You're second in the nation in assists. You had 9 tonight. For you as a point guard, especially with this Kansas State team, like how are you able to get your teammates in positions to score so well?
I watch a lot of film, and I have a really good chemistry with all the guys on the team. Each and every day we are with each other, talking and laughing and joking. So that allows on-court chemistry to be even better. But I have really good players on my team, and I found out that when I get others involved and I pass and I get assists, it kind of opens up the floor for me. So I try to focus on that coming out of games with getting guys easy look and easy touches, so that at the end of the game I could be in attack mode.
So last season, Marquise, when you saw Jerome Tang, he was coaching for Baylor. This year, he is running your program. What's been the biggest difference with him there? What is you're 13-1 this season. What has he provided that has gotten you guys off to the start?
Man, that guy is incredible. Each and every day, you never heard a bad story about Coach Tang. And every day, he tries to teach us life lessons, through basketball. We have Sunday dinners at his place, and just what he brings to us. He brings a certain level of confidence each and every day that K-State needs. He brings a certain level of tenacity that we need, and he's a really, really good coach with X's and O's and end game adjustments. So, I mean, he waited 19 years for this moment, and God placed him, in K-State, hands at the right moment, and he's taking full advantage of it.
Marquise, I got one more for you. So Naquan Tomlin is a guy not a lot of people knew about. He's from Harlem. You're from Harlem. Are we crediting you? Was that your scout? Was that your recruit?
Man, yeah, I helped a little bit on Naquan because he's a New York native, but that's another guy who gave us big time minutes today, coming in second half aggressive, even though he had those 2 quick fouls. But yeah, Naquan is a story that most people should really read on.
Best kept secret. That's what I'm calling him. Best kept secret.
He's definitely that. And you'll see that more this year. So,
Hey, last one for you from me. How different is Manhattan, New York from Manhattan, Kansas?
Oh man, it's just more buildings. That's all.
That's it. That's it. Great answer. Great answer.
Keep it simple. Hey, you guys are 13-1 now. What you guys talk about? You're not ranked yet though in the top 25. What's this team's mentality right now after knocking off Texas on the road?
Our mentality is, we're gonna celebrate this win. This is a big time win for us, and it probably get us in the top 25. But after today we've done celebrating, we're gonna go on to the next thing and focus on another tough opponent, which is Baylor. And coach always talk about 1-0, what's next. So we're gonna have fun tonight, and then tomorrow we'll start to lock in.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Marquise Noel. Safe travels back home. I know that travel back is going to be a lot better after a win.
Yes, thank you. Happy New Year to all of y'all.
Happy New Year.
Happy
man.
New Year.
Well, it's so true, by the way, that ride back, plane ride back, 100,000 times better.
Nothing better.
After a win.